Leviticus is a horror movie about two teenage boys on the brink of first love and the violent ritual that their parents force them into to try and erase their feelings for each other.
Let's talk about the new film Leviticus, which I had the opportunity to watch at South by Southwest. This movie actually premiered at Sundance, where it was picked up by Neon. Neon, better release dates, please. I'll talk more about that in another video. But this is a new film directed by Adrian Chiarella. It stars Joel Bird, as well as Stacy Clausen, and also Mia Wasikowska. And this is a movie that I was just hearing a ton of buzz when it premiered at Sundance as part of their Midnighters. A lot of people are saying this is it. This is a great new step into horror, the next generation, the wave, and all of that. And I was just so intrigued by that. So I had to make it a priority to watch this at South by Southwest when I saw that it was going to be there as part of their festival favorite lineup. And I am so happy I did, because this movie truly lives up to the hype. So Joe Bird is actually from Talk to Me, the Young Boy. So I was already knowing that I was gonna get an amazing performance from him, but everybody else just delivered on an exceptional level. If I were to sort of tell you what this movie is about without giving too much away, it's basically a movie about the horror of these very strict religious sects, and also I would say conversion therapy, and all of that mixed in with a lot of romance added in, and also just horrific imagery that is gonna leave you like, what is going on? And I really enjoy this movie a lot because it not only serves as a great horror film, but also the drama, the romance, and all of that is really great. It is very genre bending. I think it has one of the best openers as well that really puts you in this sense of dread for the rest of the film that you just can't shake off. It was honestly executed in such a way that I think is just unbelievable. And that goes a lot for the cinematographer, the director here. I think that they did an exceptional job with the camera work as well, because this movie has a lot of stillness to it in a way that where you're seeing things unfold and the camera's not moving, you can't escape it. And I really love that when a horror film is able to capture you in the moment. You know, sometimes you get a lot of quick cuts, you get a lot of editing involved in all that, which, hey, if you do it right, can also work. But that stillness is something I feel we don't see a lot, and this movie has a lot of it. A lot of like making you ponder and sit there with these images for a bit and just leave you there with anxiety of wanting to get out and wanting to move away or look the other way, but it says no, keep looking. And that's exactly what it's doing here. I also think with its themes of conversion therapy and also homophobia and all of that added, it really adds another layer of horrors that we see in our real world as well. And I think that they did it in a way that just works well, where it doesn't detract away from the film and it feels sort of seamless. And that's what makes the point hit a little bit harder, is that you don't feel you're detached from the movie, which can be hard to do because, you know, you want to explore the themes and you want to talk about what you're trying to convey from your film. You don't want to alienate the audience and make them forget they're watching a film at the end of the day, right? Because that could be a lecture or that could be an essay and all of that. You want to sort of put it all together with the images that are presented. And I think that Adrian did an incredible job here. This is a very important topic, I think, and we've been seeing a lot of more this homophobia, transphobia, and things like that around the world. So I think it's important to really put that to the forefront and just punch as hard as you can with what you're trying to say. And I think Adrian does that well. This film as well is going to get a lot of comparisons to other horror films. I've already seen it, and I will tell you, it's not It Follows. It's not whatever you've heard it is. It's its own thing. And I think it really does do justice for what it's trying to do. It does have, I would say, maybe some inspirations here and there. Yeah, you'll probably notice. But at the end of the day, it's not trying to be anything else that came before it. It's just trying to be its own thing. And what Adrian's exploring here and the way he presents it is in a way I haven't seen before. And I really did love that here. Like I said, Joe Bird's performance here, that's what you're really going to discuss at the end of the day, because he's able to give sort of a whiplash performance where you see him in a way and then the next scene cuts and the next scene cuts, and he's able to do an all-around performance that just feels genuine and really conveys well the emotions his character's feeling, so conflicted, just wondering where he really should be in this world. And it is such a beautiful performance at the end. Last scene played and I was just there thinking, Wow. The scares are really great here as well. Like I said, there are some amazing sequences that happen. Some of them are going to leave you with your jaw on the floor, I think. And some of them are going to have you like going back on your seat like, whoa, like the person next to me was completely frightened throughout. And I'm not going to lie, I was as well. And I could see through the crowd at South by Southwest a lot of jumping. But also there are some scares there that just linger with you the more you think about it. Like I said, the opener is one of them. I thought that it was very chilling and just one of those that just leaves you like, damn, this is getting dark already from the start. And that's the thing with the story. It is a very, very heavy story when you really think about it. But the romance, the love, and all of these that these characters have for one another really elevates it a bit more. And I think that that's what really makes it such an interesting watch, because it kind of feels like a coming of age, a love story of sorts. But then you add in this drama from the religious factor of it and family, and then also the horrors of not knowing and the unknown and all of that. And it's just such a breathtaking film, and I'm excited to see what Adrian does in the future. Everybody involved here did an amazing job, and I really do recommend this one a lot. I think it's going to be one of those films that people are really going to gravitate towards, and it's going to become some people's favorite horror film of all time. And it has that sort of vibe to it. I get a lot of that vibe of horror movies that truly stand the test of time because they dare to go in a direction that we don't really see much conventional or sort of mainstream horror go in, and it tries to do something different with that. So very excited to see what people think of Leviticus. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a standout horror film of the year alongside Obsession and some other ones that are coming out. So stay tuned for more talks on that. But let me know what you think about Leviticus. Are you excited for this film? Have you watched already at either of the film festivals, or are you eagerly anticipating for its release later this month? Comment below. But as always, that is going to do it for me. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Super excited to get to that. CinemaCon is this week, so we got a ton of coverage to do. Resident Evil is at the top of the list because we got some news on that as well as footage. We're going to discuss that in the video, so make sure you follow, and I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.
We worked really hard to make this film feel true to our corner of the world here in Australia, but it's a story that I hope speaks to people everywhere. So thanks for listening, and hope to see you there.